I will say that I've had thrills before. Something like hitting a home run in Chicago that time. The Lord was with me when I called the shots.
Imagine a man so legendary that fans would leave their seats just to watch him take batting practice. A man whose towering home runs not only cleared ballparks, but shaped the very way baseball was played. That man was George Herman Babe Ruth, the Sultan of SWAT, the Colossus of Clout, and the first true superstar of America's pastime. In this video, we'll explore Babe Ruth's extraordinary rise, from a troubled childhood to becoming the most iconic figure in sports history. You'll discover how he transformed baseball into a national obsession, shattered records that seemed untouchable, and built a larger-than-life legacy that still inspires athletes today. Stay tuned until the end, because this is not a story of just any baseball player. It's the story of how one man changed the game forever. George Herman Ruth Jr. was born on February 6, 1895, in Baltimore, Maryland. He was one of 8 children, born to George Sr. and Kate Ruth, but only he and his sister, Mammy, survived past infancy. His parents worked long hours running a tavern near the city's bustling waterfront. That left young George with little supervision, and without guidance, he quickly developed a reputation for mischief. By the age of 7, Ruth was already skipping school, roaming dockyards, and getting into trouble with local police. He chewed tobacco, drank alcohol, and caused headaches his hard-working parents could no longer manage. Realizing their son needed structure, his family sent him to St. Mary's Industrial School for Boys, a Catholic institution that combined education with strict discipline. At first, the transition was harsh. St. Mary's was more like a reformatory than a traditional school, and its rigid rules could overwhelm even the toughest kids. But here, Ruth's life took a dramatic turn. The key figure was Brother Matthias, a towering monk who became a mentor, father figure, and role model. Matthias recognized Ruth's raw energy and introduced him to baseball. That decision would change not only the boy's life, but the sport itself. Under Brother Matthias's guidance, Ruth honed his skills in pitching, fielding, and hitting. His natural athleticism and sheer power quickly stood out. By the time he was 15, Ruth was already excelling beyond his peers, dominating games with both his pitching arm and his bat. Word of his talent spread quickly. By February of 1914, Jack Dunn, the owner of the minor league Baltimore Orioles, came to watch the young athlete. It took less than an hour for Dunn to see Ruth's potential. He offered the teenager a contract on the spot. But since Ruth was still a minor, Dunn had to become his legal guardian in order to finalize the deal. When the Orioles players first saw Ruth, they jokingly referred to him as Dunn's new babe. That teasing nickname stuck, and soon the world knew George Herman Ruth Jr. by a single word: Babe. Babe Ruth began his professional career not as a slugger, but as a left-handed pitcher. He joined the Boston Red Sox in 1914, where his natural talent quickly shined. After spending some time with the Providence Grays, the Red Sox minor league affiliate, Ruth returned to Boston and became a crucial part of the team's pitching rotation. From 1915 through 1917, Ruth dominated as one of the league's top pitchers. His 1916 season was especially remarkable, when he posted a 23-12 record and led the league with a dazzling 1.75 ERA. He even set a record that still stands today by pitching 13 consecutive scoreless innings in a World Series game. Yet something even greater was on the horizon. While his arm made him a star, his bat was about to make him immortal. By 1918, the Red Sox realized Ruth's hitting ability was too extraordinary to limit to days when he pitched. That season, he transitioned into an everyday player, splitting time between the mound and the outfield. He tied for the league lead in home runs with 11, but what followed was even more staggering. In 1919, Ruth blasted 29 home runs, setting a new single-season record. It was a sign of things to come. Baseball up to that point had been dominated by strategy, bunts, and stolen bases. Ruth changed that forever. With every towering home run, he electrified crowds and turned baseball into a power-driven spectacle. But Boston fans would not get to enjoy his greatness for long. On December 26, 1919, Red Sox owner Harry Frazee, desperate for cash, sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees for $100,000, a staggering figure at the time. The move altered the course of baseball history. For the Red Sox, it marked the beginning of an 86-year championship drought, later dubbed the Curse of the Bambino. For the Yankees, it launched the most dominant dynasty the sport had ever seen. Ruth's arrival in New York turned him into more than a player. He became a phenomenon. In his first season with the Yankees in 1920, he shattered his own home run record by hitting 54 bombs, a number no one else in the league even came close to. The following year, he topped that with 59. Fans packed stadiums across the country just to see him swing. He was a showman, a hero, and in many ways, baseball's first true superstar. In 1923, when the Yankees opened their new stadium, it was nicknamed the House That Ruth Built. But the peak of his career came in 1927, when Ruth slugged an unprecedented 60 home runs in a single season. That record would stand for 34 years, further cementing his mythical status. Playing alongside the likes of Lou Gehrig in the feared lineup known as Murderer's Row, Ruth helped the Yankees become an unstoppable force. By the time he retired, Ruth had hit 714 home runs, a number that would not be surpassed until Hank Aaron broke it in 1974. He also set countless other records, including leading the league in home runs for 12 seasons and compiling an unmatched slugging percentage of .847 in 1920. Off the field, Ruth was as colorful as he was dominant on it. Known for his hearty appetite, love of nightlife, and taste for excess, he lived life at full throttle. He ate big, partied hard, and enjoyed luxuries most Americans could only dream of. His larger-than-life persona fit perfectly with the Roaring Twenties, making him not just a baseball star, but a symbol of the era. Yet, despite his wild lifestyle, Ruth had a reputation for generosity. He was beloved by children, often stopping to sign autographs or visiting hospitals. His charisma and humanity helped make him an enduring figure beyond the diamond. By the 1930s, age and years of indulgence began to catch up with Ruth. His production slowed, and in 1935 he played briefly with the Boston Braves before hanging up his cleats. Though he had dreamed of managing a major league team, his reputation for excess prevented owners from giving him the chance. Still, Ruth's achievements were recognized almost immediately. In 1936, he became one of the first 5 players ever inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. In 1946, Ruth was diagnosed with cancer. His health deteriorated quickly, but even as his body failed, his spirit never dimmed. On June 13, 1948, Ruth returned to Yankee Stadium for its 25th anniversary. Frail and sick, he stood before the crowd that roared his name as his iconic number 3 was retired. 2 months later, on August 16, 1948, Babe Ruth passed away at the age of 53. More than 100,000 people lined up at Yankee Stadium to pay their respects. A fitting tribute to a man who had given so much joy to the game and its fans. Babe Ruth was more than just a baseball player. He was a savior of the sport, helping restore faith in the game after the 1919 Black Sox scandal. He brought excitement to millions during the Great Depression, offering a sense of hope and escape. At the time of his retirement, Ruth held 56 major league records, and though many have since been broken, his impact remains unmatched. His name is still synonymous with greatness, his swing still studied, his legend still told to each new generation. Even today, decades after his final game, Babe Ruth is remembered not only as the greatest slugger of all time, but as the man who turned baseball into America's national pastime. His life was one of resilience, triumph, and spectacle, proving that even the most unlikely beginnings can lead to an immortal legacy.